This exercise is from chapter 6, and we're going to look at computing normal probability using Excel functions. And there are two Excel functions, norm.dist and norm.s.dist. They both give you cumulative probability, like what you see in this graph. Before we use either of these two functions, you need to know the value of mean mu and the standard deviation sigma. So given we know the value for mu and value for sigma, then we can first compute for any given x value the value of z using this formula, and then use norm.s.dist with that z value, and then a comma 1 is needed to indicate that it is the probability that we want. This is like computing z and looking up the probability in the normal table in the back of the chapter, back of the book. But we can also skip this step of computing z ourselves and instead provide the three values, the x value, the mean mu, standard deviation sigma, in this function norm.dist, skipping that s. Now of course we need to end with the comma 1, which is which indicates to the function that we want the probability. So we can use either one of them, but of course remember, to use the norm.s.dist we have to first calculate z ourselves. So we can avoid having to do that if we use this function. So that's why I prefer using norm.dist function and not norm.s.dist. Okay, let's look at an example. In this example, we have x equal to the dollar amount charged by customers at a department store. And we have an average value of $500 given. Standard deviation sigma is $80 given. Now, what percentage of customers charge less than $340? So if you want to use the regular method, the one that I prefer, okay, then you the value of x, which is 340, and then use the norm.dist. So that's the x value, and then that's the mu, and here is standard deviation, and then comma 1. And that will give us the cumulative probability, so that will be something like that. So 340 less than or equal to 340, which is what we want. Okay. Now of course if you wanted to use the norm.s.dist, then you have to calculate the z value. So that will be like x minus mean mu, okay, close parenthesis, divided by the standard deviation. So this will give us the z value, and then we can use that z value in norm.s.dist. So go norm.s.dist of z, and then comma 1. So that will give you the same answer as before, except here we had to compute the z value ourselves.